Hello, people, and welcome to watch another top 16 match in the Carcassonne Champions League. This match today will be between players from Latvia's Alexei Pekushevs, also known as Alexei LV, and a Czech Republic player, Posage 118, who I think at the moment does have quite a mountain to climb if he wants to win today. In the form of current, how would I say it, current record for the league. Alexei hasn't actually lost a singular game. He's on a pure 10-0 record. As you can see over here, 5 match wins, 0 match losses, 10 game wins, 0 game losses. Whereas Posage did qualify with a slightly lower score, but qualified anyway with only 2 match wins, 3 match losses, 5 game wins, 6 game losses, and 1 Crocodile Fundy by tiebreakers. But it was an absolutely incredible qualifying from Posage. And then he went on to win Illuminati Warrior in the top 24 with some clear mistakes here and there. Illuminati actually lost a second game by time, as you can see, so it was a really unfortunate loss for him. But in any case, Posage is today in the top 16 and he has seemingly made a huge surprise. So whether he will be able to make huge surprise today is remain to be seen. Certainly he will have to step up his game against such an opponent as Alexei with his caliber. We already know that Alexei has come to draw blood and he is not going to back down. He was also a first or second pick for the final place of this tournament by seemingly many players, judging by yesterday's stream by Alexei himself. And now that yours truly is out the game, Alexei does have even greater chances to actually reach those places. I am, of course, biased towards Posage because just because of his just amazing run of not entirely pure skill, but some great luck as well to be in the top 16 today. And if he manages to go to top 8, that would be just a marvelous run. And honestly, I think at the start of the league, the players who would have put Posage in top 8 or even top 16, I think the guessing game would be able to be counted just with the fingers of one hand. I certainly was not one of those who would have guessed Posage to make it this far, but yeah, what do I know? He's here now and he is prepared to fight. We have a 1 minute time until the scheduled match time. So I assume the first game is going to start at any moment. Further note here, both players are strong masters, but Alexei's performance in this league has just been way, way more convincing. Hello, Pablo. Hello, Alexei. I hope you are not going to be watching the stream during the play, although I don't think you need it. Also, hi, Zvonimir. Thank you, Pablo, for the kind words. Unfortunately, we did indeed lose yesterday, but it is what it is. Carcassonne is tough sometimes, and you gotta get over it. We are going to rise back into the action maybe next year with greater results and hopefully less miscounting. But that's worries for next year. Meanwhile here, Posic has actually grabbed a nice lead for 6 points, grabbing both the first city and getting nice 2 points with a crossroad, whilst Alexei only has been able to, well, get some city tiles going, so he has, well, he's been able to meeple a triple-sided city, which I gotta say, I heavily dislike meepling a 1 point city at the beginning, but I think it is the correct move because it is the start of the game and it was the only castle that Alexei could have taken and therefore have any use from this tile. So in here it is the correct move, I think, but I still have to despise such a move whenever I see that. Even though I would do it myself nowadays, now that I have been preached for the practicality of it by Alexei, who other? And he has been able to turn my mind in that sense. Bosic had an extender in use and was really kind of unfortunate that he had to start a castle in such a risky place because it could be blocked immediately by any large city tile or with a field triangle. Large city tiles in this case meaning, of course, triple cities with a field because they are the only ones that go over here. Now he's kind of forced to continue his castle with rather suboptimal tiles. Growing a ruin here at the beginning is not really too enticing, to be honest. It could be very easily attacked and it can be still blocked at any moment. He could have alternatively used this second triple city to disturb Alexei's castle on the right and to break it down and to make some vulnerabilities to it, to make some attacking platforms to it. Whereas now Alexei is just able to build up his castle in peace. Bosic probably going to be adding a triangle to his large city here, trying to finish it as quickly as possible. And wow, another triangle. And suddenly this is looking really promising. Alexei isn't even able to prevent the completion. Instead takes an 8-point monastery, hoping to get some compensation if Posic manages to finish his large city. But when Posic finishes the large city, as of right now, it is not in danger to be blocked, so we are going to use the term when. When Posic finishes his large castle, he's going to be able to drop a farmer for 9 points, possibly for 12 points if Alexei manages to complete his own city. Therefore, city must be harassed or blocked, and Posic is doing exactly that. I wouldn't actually be surprised if Alexei had given this city cap to Posic to prevent the completion, to prevent the block of Alexei's castle, but Alexei is known, of course, for not doing that type of stuff, not giving city caps to their opponents and just helping them instead of helping himself. A rather tough decision by Posic here. Is he going to direct his castle towards Alexei's and prevent the completion when there's only one triple city with a field remaining, which he then could be in a winning mini battle against Alexei's castle? It would be then a 4 against 4, but Posic would be then the only one who is able to grow their ruin. And certainly if Posic gets a triple city with a field, he is going to place it to his own ruin, because it would not make sense at all to actually connect both of the cities, as it would provide no immediate points or no long-term points for Posic, as it would be incredibly difficult to attack the city for the second time, because so many of the tiles that he needs have gone. He would already have to use the fourth triple city for the connection anyway, and then he would only have 3 field triangles to have his second meeple to this castle be connected. So I don't think we are ever going to see that happening, where Posic decides to go reckless and try to overrun this this castle here. Instead, I am very surprised what Posic actually did with his triangle, and I think it I do have to say it's a mistake, because his castle over on the left is essentially frozen. He cannot grow or finish it before he finishes the large castle he already has in the middle here. Because if he does so, Alexei can easily grab a curve and place it just just next to the castle of Posic, and not only to block Posic's castle in the middle, but also to direct the road of Posic to the same square. Then Alexei would have trapped not only one but 2 meeples from Posic and 1 meeple from himself, which would be a clearly winning mini battle of 12 points versus 8 with an extra blocked meeple. Posic continues his road. Alexei, I imagine, is going to be taking 2 points. He loves grabbing 3 points. Yes, he does. And honestly, I don't think Alexei is going to be putting anything here to try and create a blocking square himself, because that would enable Posic to actually try saving everything over here. So he's rather going to just patiently wait for Posic to get a city cap to finish his middle castle here, and then have a possibility to do some fun stuff for the other meeples that Posic has here on the vulnerable area. And here we see the vulnerability of these 3 connected meeples. Posic would love to end his road and grab a monastery. but it can't really do that because any road tile that had, well, any field plus road tile would immediately be able to secure Alexei a long-term meeple advantage by blocking two of Posich, by blocking two meeples from Posich. On top of that, Posich would also be making a 9-point field if he decided to end his road. Instead, he is going to start a 5-point monastery and have a road end for his road easily available. Meanwhile, Alexei is finally able to finish his castle. Also grabs a nice 6-point field, which has room to grow to likely at least 9 points upon the completion of Red's castle in the middle. Also, Posich now needs the same type of tiles to multiple places. So even though it was an important idea and an important execution from Posich to lay down this field triangle here, he wasn't able to get any blocking tiles, and Alexei was able to make a semi-save on the other side, and now Posich is kind of stranded with this 2-point castle here, which he cannot really complete in a safe way, because anything that goes on this square here is going to enlarge Alexei's field, and it's also going to endanger the castle of Red from to another attack from the right and possibly be blocked. A great move by Alexei with this regular curve here, denying Posich the possibility of an easy 2-curve loop to finish his road, drop a farmer, and just causing a lot of inconvenience in general to Red's features here. He also secures the 9-point field so that Posich will not be able to take it down when they complete their own castle. And even if they now would be able to complete their castle, it wouldn't be even bad for Alexei, because completing it would be 8 plus 2 points, but it would also give a point to Alexei and 6 points to his fields. 3 points to both fields, of course. So it would only be a plus 3 move. So now if I'm Posich, maybe it's not even so dangerous to try and complete your stuff on the left. Even though your meeples can get trapped, it's not like he's in a particularly... It's not like the city is particularly important anymore, unless he wants to attack the fields later. I'm also very surprised that Posich is now grabbing a road, even though he took the risk of placing a dagger under here, and he wanted to complete the castle, but then he just goes that, no, I'm not going to protect it. Then what's the point of trying to complete this castle if you are not going to go through with the plan? I'm astonished that Posich is making, I think, severe mistakes here. Alexei managing to grab 4 free points up on the scoreboard by a large margin, 18 points with 3 dangerously close to completion monasteries, which are practically impossible to be blocked without Posic also losing stuff. And this is honestly not looking too good for the Czech player here. He doesn't have the meeples, and although he has potential to get meeples back from several spots, he doesn't have like that large threats brewing at the moment, and he can't really make use of several tiles. Like he can't make use out of city crossroads, to be honest. He can't make use of triple cities with a road because he can't score quick points. He can't do plenty of stuff. And also this tile is just terrible for Posic here. He cannot protect anything, and Alexei blocks everything now. He blocks it all. Wow, that quad city creating a ton of problems for red here, and to his very unfortunality, he grabbed the worst tile in the game to protect him from anything. So is Posic just going to be making a ruin out of this? I imagine no. He's gonna want to complete it. He needs to complete it. He absolutely needs to complete it. Meanwhile, Alexei just grabbing 3 points, and Posic just adding 1 point at a time. Though he is now making a last threat of finally finishing something. But is it going to get blocked? There is still 1 dagger remaining to both sides, so it is not entirely out of the question that Posic actually finishes this castle. There's also, I think, 1 tube divider remaining, so actually anything that Alexei places on the left here is not going to guarantee a block yet. Ooh. Hello Elias, Arpad, as well as KK. Yeah, I gotta agree with KK here. Something is off with Posic here. I mean, with a rating of a strong master, I think his moves in this game have been rather questionable. And well, we can't really be looking at just the elo here because well, basically both players are at the same elo rating, but Alexei has just been severely outscoring and outmaneuvering Posic in this game. Alexei preparing to finish the monastery. also making a large ruin for himself. Posage aiming to prevent the completion of one of Alexei's monasteries, though there is still one dagger remaining. And let's have a little look-see on the points at the moment. Posage is minus 25 on the scoreboard. Alexei has 3 8-point monasteries, so minus 49 for Posage, minus 44. With fields, Alexei is 15 points ahead, so plus 59, plus 60 from the 1-point city of Alexei, and so plus 50, 52, plus 47, 45, 42, 40. Is it really plus 34? Now even more, preparing to have a 6-point field after the completion of the Castle of Red here. There might not be too much that Red can do here. He's so far behind. 34, 32, 35, 30, so plus 32 if I'm not wrong. And so what's gonna be the Red's plan here? There is still one vanilla remaining and one divider. So the city on the left can definitely be completed. Would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points minus 3 because it's on the field of Alexei, so 9 points. He also needs to complete the monastery here. If he manages to get a field crossroad, he's going to be able to get 2 meeples back and then possibly able to fight for the field somehow. Although there are not too many access points. Now the castle gets destroyed completely, and it's looking so bad for Posage here. One of his only features that was actually able to be destructive enough so that in case it would be completed, it would actually mean something, is out of the game. Alexei can still actually get all of this stuff at the top here if he gets a triple city with a road. There is still one remaining. And are there road triangles? No road triangles, but a triple city. I think Alexei is not gonna be even bothered. He's just gonna take 4 points here because he can just take quick points with triple city with a road anyway. So he doesn't need this ruin at the top here. Also, he can just grab the final dagger that's in the game, finish his monastery, and then grab the ruin. So that would be a 5, 8, 9-point move immediately. So I mean, there's just nothing Posic can do anymore. He's so far behind. Maybe by even just below 40 points or so. And yeah, Alexei just gonna grab 3 points at at the top here. He doesn't need to do anything fancy. I mean, he might be tempted to maybe connect to the road just to secure that Posic will not be able to get a road back, and well, wouldn't have mattered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, there would have been only one curve remaining, so not really actually worth the trouble even. Probably going to just delay the stick cap here on his field. Well, maybe take a meeple back, but he can't really score anywhere more than like 3 points, so it's not like really even worth to make a 0-point move. And there are still a couple of city caps, so a potential city on his field I think is more enticing than a 0-point move. Interesting. Wants to most likely prevent red from completing their monastery here with, indeed, there is the divider at least still remaining, so there's that. Another 2 points, and yeah, Alexei can use the divider on the left hand side field anyway for 7 points, so yeah, he didn't actually need to add another city cap here. Gets the divider anyway, and another 7 points, and yeah, this first game is just a demolition of the Czech player here. Very fast pace as well. Although it took 27 minutes around, but at the end, I mean, well, the moves were honestly pretty clear, at least for Alexei. He got a nice bunch of quick point tiles, so, and he wasn't in a dire need of like very strategized moves, because the point difference was so big. And yeah, as you can see, at the end he is winning by over just below 20 points, but a clear margin. A relatively easy game for Alexei here. Posic just never able to get his castle finished before it was too late. Even though this castle remained here for quite a long time without anyone interfering. The Quad City, I wonder if this was actually made at a point where there weren't any other moves available. No, I think there definitely was at least one, but still it's the other optional move was not gonna be as good. It wouldn't have provided that many threats, whereas adding the Quad City to Red's castle provided an immense amount of threat, and it worked out perfectly, as Alexei was able to block 2 of Red's meeples on the very same move. Of course, with a slight assistance from the deck, giving Posic the quad road, which he wasn't able to productively use. though it does not really matter as Alexei was clearly a better player here. Bosic just made a I don't want to say a handful, but at least a few clear mistakes where he didn't really continue his plans when he started them. He just went with one tile and then started another plan, leaving everything vulnerable. And then his castle on the left, which basically tied down three of his meeples, making a some sort of Bermuda Triangle. It was just a just just something that you shouldn't do. So 1-0 for the Latvian player here. And to the second game we go, which is well on its way. Alexei, the starting player, has gotten a crossroad on his first move. Bosic able to make 4 easy points, grabbing the vacant city cap. And Alexei with a suboptimal tile to start a castle, but starting a castle anyway, of course, with a shielded tile. It's a decent move, although I honestly would have preferred him just taking 2 points around here and directing the city cap towards his castle. That way, making his city a bit more completable, let's say, taking into account that it is next to Red's monastery. And then he could have continued his road with just regular curves, providing great use because there was a vacant road end available. Bosic going to be taking another 3 points, and yet again Bosic is having a point lead in the beginning. Will he be able to actually turn that into a victory this time? Elias saying Alexei could have expanded his 1-point city and joined it to what ended up being a large ruin, but this move was better. Most likely hitting towards the play with the quad city in the previous game. And I wholeheartedly agree. Is Bosic the second account of that player? Because his stats are 283 games, 213 victories, 75% wins. Might be. Um, or I mean, it is always possible that Bosic has played on another platform and then just made this account his one and only. But you know, a second account seems a tad bit more believable to me. Go back to win. While waiting for the answer to that, let's focus back on the game. The scoreboard hasn't really changed, although Posic has been able to grab 2 more points. Posic also been able to grab a monastery cluster, or start a monastery cluster on the right here. Maybe adding even a third to continue the great cluster. I think he should do that. I don't see too many other places that could be viable. Well, maybe on top of Alexei's monastery, but not really, because I mean when you have monastery clusters, they are such a powerful threat to your opponent that it basically forces them often to at least try to do something to them, maybe block or maybe even just delay the completion. And that is what Posic decides to do as well. Alexei, I mean, he could grab 2 points, but it will make his monastery a bit more vulnerable. Instead, going to grab a ruin, or let's say a castle at this point, and restrict the monasteries of Posic, but looks like in vain, because Posic immediately gets the starting tile that he needs. The question is, will they be meepling this road here? And I honestly think not, because given the fact that Alexei only has 1 meeple in hand, I don't think they will be too likely to grab this road for themselves, because they don't have their meeples in the most comfortable spots to be retrieved. But I think that the move here for Posic is definitely to go to add this city cap to Alexei's castle, even though there is the threat of Alexei actually completing the city, but it's still at least 3 tiles away from completion, so I would say that this is a rather safe move, and this is exactly why I did not want Posic to meeple the road, because any road tile that goes here, this 2-point road, and can be messed with along with the monastery. Posic does get a saving tile though. I imagine going here, adding 2 points to his monasteries before Alexei grabs another triple city and yet again restricts Red's monasteries to a starting tile, as he exactly did grab a triple city, and thank goodness for Posic, he was able to prevent a disastrous scenario. I think Posic should be attacking Alexei's castle here. It is a 12-point city upon completion, and it's going to be quite threatening. Plus, Bosic has several places to get meeples back from, either with a field crossroad or with any city cap. Even if completing his city at the bottom would restrict his 2 monasteries, it would be a trade of 2 meeples that score at least 14 points for one of Alexei's meeple that scores 1 point. And having technically having an extra meeple blocked worth 13 points is like totally worth it, at least in my books. Alexei adds 1 point to his monastery. Bosic ending his castle, getting a meeple back. But what's his goal here? Is he trying to get a triple city here, or is he trying to get a tube divider and score 4 points? If I were to be Bosic, I think I would try blocking this square over here, and then try getting a triple city with a field, finish my 2 monasteries, and leave Alexei's castle to 3 or 4 points, depending on whether the triple city will have a shield on it. Plus, if you go here now, you're also able to harass Alexei's road. Of course, alternatively, you can always do the logical move and add 3 points to yourself, securing this. But now you have the same tile, you have the same opportunity. Surely Bosic sees this, that he can try executing something extremely dangerous. And if he changes his mind later, he can always just finish Alexei's castle, grab 4 points himself, and finish 2 of his monasteries. But decides not to. He doesn't seem to be a fan of the move I suggested, or then he just has not noticed the possibility. And given his performance, I'm not going to speculate on whether he sees the opportunity or not, or whether let's assume that he just thinks that there is something better here. Okay, me pulling the city instead of the road. Maybe a bit adventurous if you ask me, but then again he does have another road already brewing here. And well, I honestly still prefer taking the road here, because it's 4 points versus 1 city point. Well, he does get the triple city, and now that he doesn't have anything here, it's rather easily completable, so will Alexei be able to do it? Not just yet. But Bosic will also not be able to prevent the completion just yet. And this is a major threat, because if Alexei manages to finish the castle here, it's going to be 8 points, and he's going to be able to drop a farmer down on a 6-point field, which can possibly then be grown more if Bosic connects to this castle here, and it might be a potential castle more for the field, and there are also no other fields in the game that would be more than 3 points, so it would be the biggest field available. And also Alexei has meeples now in places which are easy to be retrieved with any curve, with any city cap. He can use field triangles here. And he even has a splitter to use here. And the possibility of using a splitter to give Alexei 12 points just further makes me want to get to this field first. So Posic connects. Alexei takes yet another feature, a nice 6-point road, and now he has a ton of tiles to use, all to his great advantage. Any crossroads, any city caps, any curves, triangles. So many tiles that Alexei can now use and get a meeple back, and there is no way that Posic will able to prevent all of the features of Alexei. Oh, well, technically there is, but the chance of that happening is like so low. Decides to limit Alexei's castle to a starting tile, and Alexei pulls the save. But it's worthwhile to note here that Alexei is actually behind on scoreboard by 29 points, a very significant amount. So unless he is able to complete the castle on the right, I think he's gonna have issues with generating enough points to actually challenge Posic in this game. Because Posic also has 3 more meeples in hand at the moment. He can use them anywhere he likes. Maybe to try grabbing this castle here. Instead of that, going for a certain block. And ooh, that is a massive tile for Alexei. Creates a huge threat of finishing a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24 point castle. Posic grabbing more points. Svanimir is saying, I think plus they should have meepled the field when getting the monastery meeples back from with this triple city, I believe. And well, I'm not so sure about that because it would be only 3 points. Well, yeah, certainly there's the potential of the 6 points, but well, I mean, yeah, it would have been a viable move, but maybe I agree with Posic here that dropping a farmer to this then 3-point field would not have been worth it just yet, because he was going to be in a meeple. He was going to have a meeple majority for a good amount of time, so And he could always drop the meeple later whenever he connects to this castle in the first place. If Alexei takes the field before red here. Meanwhile, Alexei manages to grab the starting tile he needs. Bosic probably gonna have to do something about this castle here. He's not bothered. Goes for the connection instead. Only one triple city left. And that comes with a road, I believe. Yep. And then triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 triangles left. One with road, one with field. So 3 tiles that red can use to connect to this ruin here. Would be a nice feature to have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 10 points, 11 points. But also very important to block Alexei's right hand side castle here. Honestly, even though there are like juicy roads available here, I think he should just keep on trying to block this castle. Because there are still one vanilla and 2 tube dividers left to finish this city, which Alexei will now restrict himself to. A 75% chance that this castle actually gets completed, and it's going to probably come with a farmer. I think it's gonna depend on when he actually gets the tube divider. If he gets it early on, he's gonna take the 4 points, I think, and only after drop a farmer on the field. If he gets it late, then just meeple the field instantly. And the closer we go to the 0 tiles remaining, the greater the chances of Alexei finishing this great city. But is it going to be enough? Because Bosic is 32 points ahead on the scoreboard, 33 with this castle, 34, 35, 36, 37, 35, 27, 31. So if Alexei finishes this castle, and takes the city points, he'll be like at plus, so no sorry, like minus something like -3, -5. But no, he's definitely going to meeple the field because, I mean, 10 tiles and less is not enough to consider taking the points from this small castle worth it. Also, Alexei, by adding 2 points to this northern ruin here to red's castle, he has prevented completely red from actually connecting to this shared piece of city here. Bosic, he's going to have to meeple this right hand side field here. He's going to have to prepare for Alexei to get that tube divider. There is no way in the world that he can allow Alexei to drop a second farmer on the right hand side field and possibly even connect these 2 farmers together. It will be too strong of a feature, this field, to have. Exactly. Posic knows this and is going to drop a farmer. Alexei has to live with just getting the points from this city. Both players with 2 meeples. Posic with +4, +5, +9, +7, -3, +5. Fields are equals. Posic is +5 for 1 meeple. He needs to get a city cap, get a meeple back here, and uh, get a 6-point move by finishing a city over here, dropping a farmer, because Alexei is going to take a 6-point field over here, or over here actually, because there is still one tube divider left. Gonna get a 6-point city, possibly a 9-point city, and if Posic will not get a city cap, he will not be able to score enough points. Because when Alexei meeples a 6-point field, he's going to be at +1. Exactly +1. And then Posic is going to be in a world of trouble because there are not so many features that you can take. You can't really score quick points in too many places. Well, if there is a regular curves, are there regular curves? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is one regular curve, so there's a possibility that Posic will also be able to take the same field for 6 points. Maybe has to drop farmer even now, but then he can't take a 6-point move down at the bottom. Yeah, um, Alexei drawing the tiles he removed from himself, referring to this castle over here, where Alexei decided that it's better to have 3 tiles instead of 2 to be able to complete the castle. So he turned the curve pointing outwards and not having the daggers available to complete the city. But he's gonna have 2 tiles remaining after his move. Maybe he needs to rely on the fact that he's going to draw the tube divider, get a meeple back from here, and then have a regular curve to score 7 points with by first having meepled this small 3-point field over here and then connecting with a curve to Alexei's 6-point field, which cannot grow because if Posic pulls the tube divider. It is true the fields could definitely merge, but I think Posic cannot really go that route because he needs to prevent Alexei from getting a 6-point field here, and well, he's gonna kind of Posic is going to kind of depend on also taking the regular curve that's remaining, so he needed to also meeple this field, so Alexei cannot have a 6-point field on the other side. Though there is also one crossroad still remaining. I think. Yes, there is. That's going to be a field crossroad. Posic needs to kind of gamble here. And... or does he? Is he going to add potential 4 points to his castle, or is he going to connect to Alexei's field? Does he want to go with full trust and be able to complete an 8-point castle with a tube divider, or will he count on Alexei getting the tube divider, which Alexei now has higher chances to, because he has 2 tiles in use and Posic will only have 1 tile in use. So there will be 1 crossroad, a tube divider, and something else. Oh yeah, the regular curve, right? Yeah, so a crossroad, a regular curve, and a crossroad. And well, this is going to be a entertaining match. It's going to depend on exactly who gets the tube divider. Alexei will be able to score 4 quick points here. Then score 4 points with a field crossroad if he gets that, and also 4 points with a tube divider if he gets that. So will 8 points be enough? And the answer is let's take a second. He was +1 when he meepled this 6-point field. Then Posic +2 when meepling this. Alexei 0 points here. Posic +4 now with this castle. So if Posic gets another +5, it's going to be +9. And Alexei will have no possible way to get 5 points with a crossroad. Okay, Posic gets that, but then he's gonna be able to take 3 points, but Alexei will take 4 points from the castle. Having taken 8 points, I think Alexei wins by 1 point. 1 point? The chat is kinda going in the way that Alexei might have won. Eight points. Yeah, it's a 1 point win for Alexei. Oh, a decisive tile, this tube divider. It was either 5 points or 3 points for Posic versus 8 points in any scenario. Oof. It was looking so great for Posic in the middle game. He was up in meeples by 3-0 when Alexei had just a bunch of features where he could get meeples back from, but he wasn't getting anything back. But then Alexei was finally able to complete his big city, get a huge score of points, and get back into the game. Well, Alexei was the favorite, and as a favorite he remains, winning 2-0 against the Czech player. Let's update the final score of 2-0, and Alexei will be the 7th player going into the quarterfinals. Let's have a look-see at who still remain. So, I think Matej has not sent the scores. I will have to take a moment later on and send the actual match or the game scores just to be able to get them over here. But so far, quarterfinalists, someone you know, Estronkio from Spain, Matej from Slovakia, Muchacello, Lithuania goes quarterfinals, a second Russian player 71st, Viv, France, Latvia goes in, and the final quarterfinalist going to be resolved on Sunday at 10 p.m. UTC, starting 10 p.m. UTC, between the match of Self-Evident from China and UI Scooty, the previous, or let's say the former world champion from few years back, US Kuti is, and the semi-finalist from World Championships of 2023, so the previous year, aka Self-Evident. Going to be definitely a entertaining match, but might not be able to stream that one since it's going to be starting at midnight my time on Sunday, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, hello Alexei. Well, you are definitely keeping the hope alive for all the people that uh, put you in the top 4 in your own giveaway. So not gonna have to change the guessing game just yet. Yeah, congratulations on the quarterfinal spot. You did as you were expected to do and took down the Czech player. I will advise you to watch back the stream to see what you possibly missed. And I will also take this opportunity to ask you to send me some DMs. I have sent you an a question regarding the quality of the stream. So gotta take this opportunity as well and um, possibly get you on the other side of the messaging screen. But yeah, terrific work today. Congratulations again for the quarterfinal spot, and congratulations for Posic as well for reaching the top 16. It is no shame to drop out at this point since we all have incredibly tough players against that we have played. And the competition also remains fierce, strong, ruthless, whatever else adjectives we can use. But there will be no mercy given on, I assume, next week. I'm not sure about the pairings yet. Apparently, I wasn't even aware that top 8 will get reshuffled, and it's not an actual like bracket stage, so they are not predefined opponents that each one will meet. but we'll try to stream as many of those final matches as I can. Thank you all for attending the stream, and